Aristarchus Base, this is the Elbereth, requesting final approach clearance, over. Aristarchus Base, come in, this is the Elbereth, requesting final approach clearance, over.
This is Aristarchus Base Command, message received. Please broadcast your code for final approach clearance.
Understood, Aristarchus, transmitting now.
Message received. You are cleared for final approach Elbereth, and welcome back to Aristarchus.
Thank you, over and out. Good, that's done. Don't you ever say anything? Oft have I heard that grief softens the mind and makes it fearful and degenerate. Therefore think on revenge and cease to weep. It's important to remember that when this episode aired in 1966, World War II had been over for only 22 years. Many of you can look back in your own lives and realize that it isn't, or doesn't seem like, a long time. Stories that Hitler had somehow survived the bunker and was still living somewhere had by then filtered through pop culture. The 1963 cinematic masterpiece, The Madman of Mendoras, later re-released as They Saved Hitler's Brain, theorized the Fuhrer, or at least his head, was alive and well somewhere in the Caribbean. In real life, it was well known many Nazis had escaped at the end of the war and were living in hiding throughout the world, pop culture placing many of them in
Argentina.
So we are presented with the story of Anton Kharidian, actor and suspected of being Kodos the Executioner, perpetrator of a horrendous war crime 20 years before. It is given a Shakespearean twist, as he is the head of a traveling acting company, performing the works of the bard throughout the stars. Like Hitler, Kodos died and his burned body found before he could be arrested for his crimes, so the case was closed. That's that. Or is it? The story here is very loosely based on Hamlet, one of the more violent of the Shakespeare plays. Nothing compared to this episode, though, where the death count is at least 4,007, unlike the paltry 8 in the play. I am very sorry, good Horatio. So suspicions are raised when an old friend of Kirk, who had suspected Kharidian was Kodos, ends up murdered. Kirk arranges for the theater troupe to end up stranded, so Kharidian's daughter Eleanor, dressed in her best bathroom mat, asks for a ride. Kirk, playing innocent, agrees. Not an eyebrow is raised when Kirk begins courting the 19-year-old Eleanor, who delivers perhaps the best double entendre of the entire series. Surging and throbbing indeed. By now, Spock is also suspicious of Kharidian and brings this to McCoy's attention, who couldn't seem to care less. This is one of the first sparring scenes between Spock and McCoy, although McCoy's jab at Spock that because they didn't drink alcohol, Vulcan had been conquered, is contradicted in the Season 2 episode, The Immunity Syndrome. Damn continuity. Well, turns out there were 9 people still alive who had actually seen Kodos. Oops, make that 2, 7 have died, including Kirk's friend. And it just so happens the remaining 2 are on the Enterprise. How convenient. Kirk happens to be one and the other Lieutenant Riley, making his second and final appearance on Star Trek. It's not entirely clear why Bruce Hyde didn't make any more appearances in the series. Some cite budget considerations, others that he left television acting, being mainly a stage actor. He died in 2015. He's almost killed off in the show, as he is the victim of the latest murder attempt, but is saved as he was listening to Uhura sing via the comm from the rec room and called for help. Next up, an attempt on Kirk's life using the old exploding phaser trick. Needless to say, the attempt was unsuccessful thanks to Spock's sensitive ears. The phaser is quickly dispatched down an extremely handy phaser disposal unit, and it is now deemed wise to pay Karidian a little visit. The main theme of this episode is revenge and/or justice, and how it can be used for good or ill, depending on your point of view. This is exemplified in the best scene in the episode. Kirk accuses Karidian directly, who at this point doesn't admit to being Kodos. We, the audience, do get to see his reactions to facts that seem to blow his cover, although he's always turned away from Kirk when this happens. Karidian is clearly suffering from remorse, but then launches into a spirited defense for killing 4,000 colonists. Whoopsie. He even attempts the "I was young and foolish" defense. How old were you, like 40? Hardly a youthful indiscretion then, was it? Nice try. Kirk is also conflicted, as he says he believes Karidian to be Kodos, but those pesky ethics and legal proceedings prevent him from killing Karidian where he stands. Yes, it does turn out he used Eleanor just to get to her father, but hey, when you're hunting war criminals, corners sometimes have to be cut. Kirk also has to prevent Riley from doing in Karidian during the exciting conclusion, but to be fair, I won't give away the twist ending, although a huge hint is dropped earlier in the episode. Not well received ratings-wise during its initial airing, it was not given a repeat broadcast in 1967. History has been kinder to it though, and in my opinion, it is one of the stronger episodes from Season 1.
The theater isn't what it was.
No, and I'll tell you something else. It never was what it was.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
请向301医疗舱报告。注意，维修人员到7级。
So, do you think anyone made it this far?
视频现已结束，谢谢大家观看。